Hello lovely, and welcome back to the Makeup Hunter. If you haven't met me before, hello, my name is Laura. In today's video we are going to be doing a get ready with me. I am going back to the caravan for the last time this year and I just want to make myself look presentable. I haven't put makeup on for over a week, so I'm ready to put some makeup on, try a few new products. It's not going to be like my affordable stuff today. It's the stuff that's in my shop, my stash. So I've got a lot of Made by Mitchell products, Lethal Cosmetics, Pastel Roses, just whatever takes my fancy I'm going to use today. But it's all shop, my stash and new products. So if you like get ready with me's, if you like affordable beauty, high-end luxury TikTok inspired makeup, then please do keep watching and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, if you click the notification bell, you'll be reminded every time I upload to this channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get some makeup on my face. Okay, so it feels like it's been such a long time since I've actually sat down and filmed a video, but I was umming and ahhing about whether to film today, but I've decided I'm just going to switch the camera on and finally give you a bit of an update on what's been going on with me, sort of a life update. Nothing too exciting for most people. But yeah, I'm going to I have no plan on what I'm going to use. I've not really got much out. I'm just going to be dipping into my drawer and picking whatever takes my fancy. So as I said in the introduction, we are going to the caravan today for the last time for the year. We're going to go and shut it down for the season, and we'll be going back sort of towards the beginning of February probably. They have to shut down over the January period while they do maintenance and things like that. So I'm really excited to be going back to my happy place. All my new like affordable stuff that I was going to do a haul on, it's all packed away, and I'm intending on doing some hauls at the caravan. I bought all my Primark stuff back with me to do the hauls, but I just haven't got round to it because of what I'm going to talk about shortly. So I've put it all back in the bag and I'm taking it all back to the caravan with me, and I'm hopefully going to fit in some filming while I'm there. I want to do a makeup haul, a Primark haul. I was going to do some Made by Mitchell hauls, but if people can wait a couple of weeks for me to do it when I get back, then I will, because I've got some more Made by Mitchell stuff that I'm waiting to arrive from his winter collection. But I have had quite a lot of Made by Mitchell, so it would be quite a, you know, there's more than enough to do a nice juicy video with it all. I'm going to be using some of it in this video today, but I might film like a collective Made by Mitchell haul when I come back from the caravan. I don't take any of my Made by Mitchell stuff with me to the van, it all stays here. So like I say, I don't have much of a plan. I don't even know what eyeshadow palette or anything that I'm going to use yet. I'm just winging it. My mum and dad have gone out to do a bit of shopping to take with us, so I need to sort of get this done before they get back. So first things first, I'm going to go in with my primer. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Power Grip. This is all stuff from my shop, my stash, and some new stuff. Sorry I'm all over the place. I've got so much on my mind at the moment that I feel a bit chaotic, so I hope this video, when I'm editing it, is okay and doesn't end up being one that never sees the light of day. But yeah, I wanted to give you kind of an update on my situation at the moment. First things first, we might as well talk about the major life change that has happened to me. I have managed to get myself a job. I have gone back to working full-time. Bit of background, I used to work in the financial sector. I had quite a good job. I really enjoyed what I was doing. I'm not the type of person that just has a job for a job. I have a job for a career. And I was working as a complaints specialist, so it was quite a sort of intense job. Unfortunately, my endometriosis was at its very worst whilst I was doing that job, and I was constantly having to leave work in an ambulance. I was admitted to hospital several times while I was there, and I was actually admitted to hospital, lying in my hospital bed, and my team leader phoned me and said, "We want you to resign." Basically, I was put in a position there where it was resign or go down a disciplinary route because of my absences, number of absences. I understood there was nothing they could do. You know, I'd reached the threshold of time I could have off. It was putting a lot of pressure on the business because of them having to call ambulances and things like that. I was passing out in the break room and things like that. So they let me go, essentially. I understand, but there isn't at the time there wasn't a lot of understanding around conditions like mine. Now I think there is a lot more understanding about endometriosis and like women's health issues and the impact of chronic illness on work life, but there really wasn't at that time. So I lost my job at the same time that my boyfriend split up with me, again linked to my condition. He couldn't cope. We'd been together 5 years. I think he was potentially seeing somebody else, but yeah, he ended the relationship, and he timed it with our tenancy agreement coming up. So I was homeless and out of a relationship and jobless. It all kind of happened at the same time. So I moved back in with my parents, and it was such a lucky thing that I did, because it was just like pre-COVID, and my health was at its very worst. My condition was at its very worst. I was very mentally unwell because of everything that had happened. I'll happily admit that I had very dark thoughts, and didn't really know how I was going to carry on, but my parents got me through it and have been so incredibly supportive. But having to give up my career was the worst out of everything that happened, and then being told by the Department of Work and Pensions that I was unfit for work, and sort of signed off work permanently. I couldn't accept that. I felt like the worst kind of person. Like, I was a drain on society, a drain on my mum and dad. You know, I wasn't contributing. You know, yes, I was receiving benefits, but it wasn't a lot of benefits that I was receiving. I couldn't have afforded to have my own place or anything like that. But I had been looking for a job. I had decided secretly, my mum and dad were really against me going back to work because of how my health was. But I had been looking for a job in secret. But I was really struggling to find something that I knew I needed to be a work from home role, a fully work from home role, because if I went into an office situation again, it was just going to end up exactly the same as it did before. At least working from home, I would be in my safe space where my mum and dad were. If I needed them, I'd have access to all my medication. You know, it would just be a much more sensible thing for me to be working from home. So I was really struggling to find one that was fully work from home. A lot of the jobs that I was finding were like hybrid remote, where you sort of like, you work at home for a few days and then in the office for a few days, and that wouldn't have worked for me. You know, I couldn't guarantee that the day that I'd got to go into the office would be a day that I was okay, like endo wise. So I was really struggling. Anyway, I managed to find a few jobs that were fully work from home, and the one night I stayed up most of the night and I was applying for like random jobs. I'd kind of reached the end of my tether. I was worrying about my finances. Mum and Dad are both retired now, so they're only receiving pensions, and I was thinking about the future. I was worrying about the future. You know, I made that video where I talked about you know, I sort of justified the spending that I was doing, but yeah, I didn't have to explain myself to anybody, but I also needed to sort of realise myself that if I wanted to treat myself the way I was, then I couldn't really carry on financially the way that I had been, because I wanted to be able to support Mum and Dad a bit more, and I also wanted to, you know, not worry so much about the future, about security for the future. I was spending, you know, as anybody sort of would, you know, you should be able to treat yourself and things like that, but I was doing that while also being super anxious and having so much like guilt after about whenever I spent anything, that I just thought I need to go back to work. And also, not only that, for my mental health, I needed to go back to work. I'd reached a really low point where I couldn't see sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, my social, I don't have any friends, I don't have a relationship at the moment. I have zero interest in a romantic relationship. But I was really like at a low point. So I stayed up this one night and I applied for 5 jobs. The next day I got a call back on one of them. I had a telephone interview. Funny story, my laptop had broken. I managed to fix it and get it back on just in time to do my CV, apply for the job, send off what I needed to do, and then my laptop broke again. My laptop broke the day after I had the telephone interview, where I was successful and went on to a second stage interview, like a face-to-face interview, like Zoom interview. And I got the job. So it was almost like it was meant to be. Like, my laptop worked just enough for me to get the job. I've been there 7 weeks now. I think this will be my 7th week coming up. I'm on 3-month probation. It's fully work from home. I'm working like a sort of a call centre role, customer service, and yeah, I'm really loving it, but I am struggling. My body is struggling. Just dead briefly, I'll just go through what I've used, because I haven't talked about any of the products. So I purchased this yesterday. This came yesterday. This is the HMB Cosmetics Luminous Glow Tint. It's kind of like a Charlotte Tilbury sort of Hollywood Flawless Filter tube, and it comes with a brush, a really nice brush, which I used with it. It wasn't quite enough. I didn't use too much of it because of it being my first time using it. I was thinking I might wear it on its own, but I did put a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation over the top, and then I've also used my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion ultra long wear concealer, and I have mine in the shade 1N. The Luminous Glow Tint is the lightest one in shade GT1. It's a nice cool tone, and then the Light Wonder is in the shade Too Fair. Now I'm going to do my cream bronzer, and I'm going to use the Made by Mitchell Curve Case in the shade Medium. I originally bought the shade Light, loved it so much that I got the shade Medium as well. And even though I am super fair, I can actually make these work. They are so incredibly blendable. Even the super dark ones mesh into the skin eventually absolutely beautifully. So I am going to use, for my cream bronzer, the shade Caramel Chisel, which is this one here. It's like this is the way it should be, so it's this one that I'm going to use, just to show you that one of the darkest shades blends beautifully. The very first time I used it, I actually used the very darkest one and it worked absolutely fine. And because it is darker, I'm actually going to use my finger. So I'm going to warm it up with my finger and I'm just going to tap it on. And then go in with my brush, and honestly these blend like an absolute dream. I love them. But yeah, so going back to the job, so as I say, I've been there. Monday will be my start of my 7th week. I had 2 weeks training, like group training. I'm in a team with everybody that is new, so we are all started at the same time. Also my manager is sort of she's not new, but she's newly promoted, so we're all kind of learning together, which is really, really nice, especially for me, who hasn't been in work for 4 years and was super nervous about going back, whether I'd be able to do it. I absolutely love my team that I'm in. Obviously we all work from home, but we have like a Teams call that we stay in all day where we can support each other. We've also got some experienced staff members in there with us to help offer support, and it's really amazing. With my first wage, I gave my mum and dad a bunch of money each as a like thank you for everything. I treated myself to the Made by Mitchell stuff, took my mum shopping. I bought some takeaways because we hadn't been having takeaways for ages, so I sort of treated mum and dad to some takeouts. I also took them out for something to eat. And then I also bought a brand new desk and a brand new fancy office chair because I have been really struggling with the pain sitting for long periods. So as far as my condition and work is concerned, I'm now going to go in with, I was going to use one of the blushes from the Curve case, but I've got a new shade of blush that I want to try. This is Making Mauves from the shade Extension, so I'm going to use that. And I'm also going to use, I got managed to get one more of the blush glow that I keep raving about. I wanted Gold Rinse and Prosecco Pop, but Prosecco Pop was sold out, so I just got Gold Rinse. This one is beautiful, but this has like a yellow tone to it. So I do prefer my Picking Petals and Pearl Twist, but this is still really beautiful. It's just, I tend to go for more cool tones in everything really, except for eyeshadow. So I've just put a little bit of that on. And I'm so sorry I'm talking so much, but I feel like I've got so much to sort of catch you up on. So yeah, I've spent quite a lot of my first wage on like mum and dad and getting myself in a better position financially, and I'm making sure that I had paid off things that were owing. And I got myself set up with a new little office space. My dad is now retired, as I've said, so he doesn't need the office anymore, so he's let me move into there. And I got myself a really fancy gaming chair and a beautiful desk. I got both from Amazon. And the gaming chair I got and made sure I got one that had a high weight bearing, because obviously I am a big gal. And I didn't want something that was going to be flimsy. And it also is a wide chair that has comes around you, which is really great on my back and tummy, because I was getting in the old office chair that I was using of my dad's, I was finding that I was getting serious groin and hip pain from sitting in it for so long. That blush is stunning. It's perfect for this time of year. It's like a toasty blush colour. I love that. And then I'm just going to set with the number 7 Airbrush Away finishing powder, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of my Franken powder on the rest of my face. Okay, so I've set my face. I felt like I had to just take a little breath because I have been talking so much. I'm so sorry to all of your ears, but I really just feel like I haven't chatted to you for ages, and I really wanted to just update you on things. So as far as how I've been coping working with this condition, I did make them aware straight away that I had a health condition and how it affected me, and I had a risk assessment, and they have been incredible. My team leader knows, my manager knows, and my senior managers know, and they've just been so supportive, making sure that I've got everything I need. I have had a few incidences where I've had to come away from the screen for a bit because I've been in so much pain. I've got mum and dad on speed dial for hot water bottles, morphine, hot drinks, that sort of thing. They've been brilliant. And I am trying so hard to not let it affect me, but there has been a couple of incidences where, as I talked about in my last video, I finished work, went to Primark, had a flare up in Primark, and I passed out in the car. That has happened now a couple of times. I haven't passed out again, thankfully, but I've had some serious flare-ups, and that is because my consultant is not responding to me. My appointment hasn't come through that should have been here in October. My GP won't give me my treatment because my consultant hasn't written to them, and I am now on nothing, no treatment whatsoever other than pain control. I am bleeding again. I am back to having my cycles. I'm on one now, and sometimes when I was gone through the menopause and things, I'd almost forgotten what it was like. Was it really that bad? Was I being an over dramatic female and sort of making it out to be something it's not? Well, fuck my life. It is unbelievable how I didn't lose my mind completely when I was going through this every couple of weeks, as I was having a period every couple of weeks. I don't know, because it's so heavy. I'm so drained. It makes me feel sick constantly. I keep going lightheaded, and the pain is excruciating. I've had to take morphine this morning just to get out of bed because I was in so much pain. I've bled through my pajamas. I've ended up in such a mess, and I'm only on day 2 of my period. And nobody's listening to me. I can't seem to get hold of anybody to just put me back on the treatment that I'm supposed to be on. So yeah, and starting a new job that I haven't worked for 4 years and going through this at the same time, I'm hanging on by a thread, but I am trying so hard to not have time off, to not let them down, to not let myself down, because this means so much to me. I've wanted this for so long, and it's so nice to have money again, like actual proper money, and to be able to treat my mum and dad and to show them how much I appreciate them and stuff. So I'm really frustrated with the NHS at the moment, but my job have been amazing. I couldn't ask for more from them. I have the new Made by Mitchell blush book, and there's this shade here called Freckles, which is like a nude, and I'm gonna see what that looks like as a bronzer. I think that it reminds me of Hula Light, so I'm going to use it on this brush. These are pigmented, so let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's lovely. So yeah, that is like my kind of life update. It's major for me, but it's probably nothing for a lot of people. And the reason why I haven't been filming is obviously because I am working Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and because of how much pain I'm in at the when I finish on an evening and when I have my weekends, I'm fit for nothing. I've not been going out anywhere. I haven't really been doing anything other than trying to use my downtime to rest my body. And when I was at the caravan last time, I was working all through the week. So I was in my training, my second week of training and first week on the phones. That is lovely as a bronzer. It's just enough. And the glow that's on my skin is really beautiful from that HMB Cosmetics. I am probably going to use one of the powder blushes out of this blush book. I have the original one as well, this one, which I have been using quite a bit, so I'll either use one or the other. These are beautiful. I've become obsessed with Made by Mitchell. I'm definitely a stan at the moment. I'm just going to spritz with some of my Franken setting spray. This has got like 4 different setting sprays in it. So yeah, that's my life update and why things have been so busy, why I mentioned that I've got a bit more money than usual, and why I am so fucking tired all the time. I said the one night I finished my shift and I literally sat in my bed sobbing because I was in so much pain. I was so tired because I haven't really been sleeping very well because of my pain levels. And I'm so sorry for swearing, I don't usually, but yeah, it's just the situation has been so frustrating because I'm trying so hard to make this work, but I'm not really getting any support from the NHS, and I can't even get access to the treatment that I'm actually supposed to be on, you know, that I was prescribed by my consultant, but because he said I've got to have a month break, nobody will give me the treatment until he writes to them to say it's fine, you can prescribe it again. And it's just, you know, I've sent emails, my mum's tried ringing and speaking to the secretary, and I just can't get anywhere. So I'm just hoping that I get an appointment through soon where I can actually see him face to face and say, look, can you just put me back? Can you just let me have my treatment again? So that is where we are with that. I'm just going to use a little bit of, this is one of the Revlon Colour Stay cream eyeshadows that I love using as an eye primer, but this is the shade Chocolate. It's a really rich brown, and I've been enjoying using this as like just a pre-step to add a little bit of definition to my eyes. So it's kind of like working as my primer, but also giving me some definition as well, like as you can see. And this is a lovely one and done shade, like you could quite easily wear just this. But I just think it looks really nice as like a first step. That is pretty much it for life update. obviously I would like to still continue with my upload schedule of 2 days a week, but I haven't been able to the last couple of weeks. And it came down to a conversation with my mum of what's more important, and at the moment this job has to be the most important thing to me, and of course my health. So YouTube at the end of the day is just a hobby, and as much as I love it and it brings me so much joy, I have to make sure my priorities are right. So I am trying with the filming, but it'll just have to be a case of as and when I can do it. So what I'm planning to do while I'm away is film, like when we were there last time. We weren't really able to do much while we were there because I was so exhausted after finishing that we didn't manage to get round to do much. And then the weekend that we did plan to do something, it absolutely bucketed it down all weekend. So yeah, so that is that on that. But we're hoping to, I've booked a couple of days off for this time. I've booked the Friday coming off, and I'm going to a hairdresser's in Wales. I've been going to the same hairdressers for many years, but I just fancy finding a hairdresser's there, because obviously the plan is to move there eventually. So we have found a hairdressers local to us, and I'm so nervous about trying it, but I'm also really excited to see a different perspective on my hair. And it's been so long since I've been to the hairdressers. You can see how bad my roots are. I've let them just go kind of wild. But yeah, so I'm doing that on Friday, and then we're there for another week, and then we're travelling back on the following Saturday, and I've booked the Monday off for when I come home to give me time to get over the travelling. So this is the palette that I've decided to use today. This is the Beauty Bay Rich palette. I haven't actually touched this yet, and I'm going to do something fairly simple. I'm going to go in with the shade Camel to start with, this like tan orangey colour. Well, it's more like a peach, and I'm going to blend that through my crease. I love the Beauty Bay eyeshadow formula. It's such good value for money. And I've got to say, my skin, my base is looking absolutely stunning. I think that Holly Boone HMB Cosmetics glow tint is going to be a new favourite. It's beautiful. I might even pick up another one in a slightly more tanned shade, like I've got with my Elf and my collection. I like to have one that's a bit more tan to give me more of a colour, like a golden kind of glow. But yeah, and I got that off TikTok Shop, because obviously, I mean, the deals, I got all my Made by Mitchell stuff off TikTok Shop as well, because the deals that you can get on there are absolutely insane. I did get the Holly Flynn collab, which I mentioned in a previous video, of Beauty Bay, because it was full price on TikTok but on sale on Beauty Bay, but even that's now down to like £5 each. And when I got all this stuff, like the curve cases and the blush books, it was his 11/11 sale, and he had some absolutely ridiculous deals, so I kind of made the most of it. And then I watched his live the other night, on Thursday, it's Saturday today, when he launched his new winter collection, and I got so caught up in the hype, I'm not watching another one of those lives. I ended up buying all the blushes, the liquid lipsticks, and the little mini palette, but like each blush comes with a free brush from that collection, and the lipsticks come with a lip liner. So I got some, and they were like £8, so it was like £4 for 2 products. So I did go a bit wild, but I've said like next month I am not spending like I did with my first wage. It was my first proper wage for 4 years. I got overexcited, and like my mum said, you know, I think anybody would have. So I'm going to go in now with this shade Maple, sticking with those sort of orangey tones, and use a smaller brush. This video is going to be so long, I'm so sorry, because I've just talked and talked and talked. So I might shut up now and speed through the rest of this eye look. Okay, and that is my eyes almost done. I absolutely am blown away by that Beauty Bay palette. I knew I would be. I usually adore the formula, and those colours are just stunning. I tinted my eyebrows last night, so I'm not really doing a whole lot to them. But before I do eyeliner and mascara, I bought some of the Made by Mitchell blush lights, because I've seen a lot of people use these on the eyes, like with Drip Drip, and I got some of the sort of super shiny reflective shades similar, that are all similar to Drip Drip. So I'm going to use this on the eye, and I'm going to use the shade Watch Your Mouth, because it's very similar to the shade that I've got on the lid. So the way I've seen, I've not done this yet, but the way I've seen people use these is put some on the back of the hand and then go in with a brush, like work it into the bristles of the brush, and then like tap it over the eye. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that is stunning. And I'm just gonna tap it up over the crease as well. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the difference. Yes, that was the right choice. I mean, you can see what it's like on my hand. Really stunning. Right, let's just wipe this off before I end up with glitter everywhere. Okay, and then for eyeliner, excuse me, I'm not going to do too much. I want to use one of my Victoria Beckham ones. I think we'll go with a classic. We'll go for Bordeaux. And these work great in the waterline. And then I'm going to do a tiny bit on the outer lash line and wing it out slightly. And these make the easiest wing because they go on almost wet and they're so easy to manipulate, but once they set down they don't budge. That brush is a little bit too splayed out. And there we go. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes, put some mascara on, put some clear brow gel through my brows, and I'll come back to finish. Okay, and that's my eyes done with mascara. So the mascaras that I used the Maybelline Sky High Primer and the Maybelline Sky High Over the Top. Trying to be better at using my mascara primers. I always forget. And then for blush, I think I'm going to go for the same blush book that I used before. And I'm going to go for this shade, All Riped Up, which is like a nudie tangerine. Well, yeah, I would say that. Like a mango colour. I'm going to put a little bit more of my blush lights on first. These do work really nicely over the top of a set face. Just a little. Because my skin is already fairly glowy. There we go. Lovely. And now I'm going to put on a little of that powder blush. Like I say, these are pigmented, so I'm going in quite gentle and tapping off the excess. And I'm like taking it over where I put that liquid highlight. That's lovely. I'm not sure if I mentioned, I used the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. That's all I've done to my brows. I need to be better at tinting them more often because it does make such a huge difference. And now for my lips. Whoops. I'm just going to spritz my face once more with my Franken spray. I'm just going to put a little bit of my Revolutionary Love Matcha lip oil on. And what I'm going to do, let this soak in. I should have put it on before. My lips are so dry. I love this. I love the smell. I'm going to go away, run the straighteners through my hair. Put my clothes on, and then I will come back to do my lips once this is soaked in for a bit. Okay, that's me mostly ready. I'm wearing one of my brand new Black Bow Company Wales headbands. I found a small business based in Wales that sells headbands that I can wear without a headache. They are so unbelievably comfortable. They do these knot ones, they do some plaited ones. They've been featured in Emmerdale, they've been in some women's magazines. They are so incredibly comfortable and well made, and this is one of my latest ones that I purchased. They're $14.99 for this style, and I just, oh, so comfortable, like I say. So let me now just do my lips. So I've decided to go for one of my new Made by Mitchell liners. These were on the 11.11 sale, a pack of 5 for £11. So I'm going to use this one. I have already used this. These are beautiful. This is the All Lit No Trip in the shade Honeysuckle, and I need to desperately take this nail polish off. And that's the shade Honeysuckle, which is a lovely warm brown, light brown. And then I'm going to be bougie today and use my Gucci lipstick. This one is in the shade Tasty Hazel, and this is one of the satin formulas. And I'm going to focus this mainly on the outer portion of my lips. I couldn't have picked a better liner. And then in the centre, I'm going to use a bit of my Doll Beauty lipstick in the shade Golden Girl, and I'm just going to put this on with my finger. And there we go. That is me all done. And I'm ready to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this get ready with me using some nice different products. No Revolution or Makeup Academy or collection in sight, and I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit more about my personal life and what I've got up to. Probably overshared as usual, but there you go. We're all friends here. Thank you so much for watching, lovely. It means the absolute world to me. Please do subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, lovely.